The most important topic of C#.net is how to create setup. First of all, we are creating one new project. We are creating C# project in C drive setup underscore path folder. Now creating OK. When we are creating first time project, then it takes such time to load. First of all, we are creating one simple application. After then we are creating setup. Now here is form. Now from toolbox, we have required one text box and one button for simple application. I set the value of button is set value. Right over here hi. Now run this application, and first of all we check that there is error or not. If there is no error, then we start the procedure of creating setup. Now I get output. Now we start our procedure to create setup file. Now first of all, you have to right click on this solution explorer, not here, but you have to click over here, right click, add and new project. In this you have to select this other project types, setup and deployment, and Visual Studio installer. Visual Studio installer, create this setup project, setup name which you want to write. I write over here setup 1. Now okay. Now in this application folder you have to right click, add and assembly. This is most important for creating setup, assembly. It takes such time to load. Now I have required this type, this from select from crystal report starting from MySQL web. If you are using any types of other tools rather than ASP.NET, other libraries, then you have to select this library path from here and OK. You can see here the all libraries are installed in your folder, setup 1 folder. This is created automatically, so you does not require to create here setup 1. Now right click again, application folder, right click, and now you have to click project output and select primary output. Select primary output and OK. Now close this. Here on your setup 1, right click on setup 1 and properties, and you have to require these prerequisites. Which framework you are using, that you have to select, and I am using Visual C#, so I click over here Visual C+ runtime libraries, x86 and x64. x64 useful for 64-bit OS, and this is for 32-bit OS. Now .NET framework, if you want to install 3.5 service pack 1, then it's okay, otherwise not required. Currently I am using .NET framework 4, so I am using this .NET framework 4, and now press OK. Now apply and OK. Now right click on setup 1 and click build. So it takes such time to build this setup, approx 20 to 30 seconds it takes. Wait until the message will display setup successfully completed. compile our DLL file, which we include in this. When you install in this setup file, you not require the Visual Studio in your destination folder. This is the most important. You no required your Visual Studio. You required only one computer. Build successful. Now I stop this project, close this project. Now I store my project in C drive. So I open C drive. In this setup path folder, in this Windows form, in this setup one. So setup one folder is most important. In this folder our setup will be stored. Now setup one, debug, and this is the setup file. So I execute this setup file. Next I store C drive, setup one, everyone. Next we give the path in C drive. It take approx half a minute to install. Wait until this process will complete. Now close. Our setup is installed in C drive, setup one folder, this folder. This is our shortcut. So I create send to desktop. So I create shortcut here. Now double click on this and set value. You can see I run my project using this setup file. Thank you.